Salute everybody. Greetings. Peace to everybody. I want to welcome everybody to the first live demonstration on the Still Swinging podcast. Drop a one in the chat if you could hear me. Drop a one in the chat if you could hear me. I want to welcome everybody to the first live demonstration on the Still Swinging podcast. This demonstration is called How Do You Deal with a Man That's More Sensitive Than You? Okay, so let me send greetings to the chat and then we will jump into this demonstration. Greetings, Sages. Appreciate you for pulling up. I see you, 80s baby. Appreciate you for pulling up, 80s baby. Miss Groovy, greetings. Appreciate you for pulling up, Miss Groovy. So this is a demonstration with me, Pee Wee, and Tommy. So I will give Pee Wee and Tommy a few more minutes to pull up. I'm going to be giving y'all some moderators wrenches. If y'all don't want the moderators wrench, just let me know. But I'm going to be issuing some moderators wrench. Miss Groovy, you've been down, so I feel like you deserve a moderator's wrench. 80s baby, you always pull up and show your support. So I definitely feel like you should have a moderator's wrench as well. If y'all don't want the wrench, just let me know. But I feel like Miss Groovy and 80s baby, y'all always pull up and show y'all support. So I went on and made y'all moderators. What do y'all feel about this demonstration? How do you deal with a man that's more sensitive than you? Do you want a man that's always crying? Do you want a man that's always First of all, let's backtrack. Because me being a man, I know sometimes I've got misrepresented, whereas though I would be expressing how I feel about a situation, and a female will feel like I was whining. You always whining. And, I would have to let her know, well, you call it whining. You consider it to be whining. But I just feel like it's me expressing how I feel. I feel like if it's a problem, I feel like if I have an issue, I feel like I should be able to, bring the issue to your attention and let's address it. So, in my opinion, I don't feel like that's whining. I'll let Pee Wee and Tommy and the rest of y'all give y'all opinions on whining. Sensitive and whining, to me, is two different things. Being sensitive as a man and whining as a man is two different things, in my opinion. Now, for a man, in my opinion, if every situation, okay, let me throw something out there. 80s baby says much needed conversation to have. I feel you have to have a balance on either side. Correct. Now, this is what I would consider to be whining. If and once again, this is just everybody's different opinion. My opinion on whining would be if I bring something to my woman's attention and she get an attitude, or for instance, if I say, hey baby, I don't like how when you leave out the house, I don't like how you dress. Right? Salute, Mel. I don't like how you dress when you leave out the house. To me, that would be whining if I keep on stressing it. Because in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, once again, Pee Wee and everybody else, y'all got your own opinions on how this work when it comes to whining. But in my opinion, I done already explained to her that I had a problem with the way she dressed going outside the house. Now, if I keep coming back over and over again, to me, that's whining. I'm going to let you know one time, if you don't fix it, if you don't stop it, then I'm going to leave it at that. But let me let one of my co-hosts, Pee Wee, slide in. First, let me read Miss Groovy's comment, and then I'm going to let Pee Wee slide in. Miss Groovy says, I feel like that's why a lot of these men don't share with their partners, because they feel that they are too sensitive. And that's facts. That's facts, Miss Groovy. Once again, this is the first live demonstration on the Still Swinging podcast. Thanks to you all, we were able to reach over 50 subscribers. I thought you had to get 100 subscribers before you could do a live, but actually it's 50. But thanks to you all, we were able to reach over 50 subscribers. So now we're able to go live over here to help build this platform. Once again, if you got a wrench, I feel like Mel, Miss Groovy, and 80s Baby, I feel like y'all have been real supportive. I feel like, that y'all are definitely dedicated to helping us, build this platform. And, not only that, when y'all do hit the panel, y'all always bless the panel with a lot of jewels. I will say that this is an open platform, an open panel, like the Shank Rock main channel is. But enough of me talking. Let me let Pee Wee slide in. Salute, Pee Wee. Peace, Pee Wee. Come on, slide in, Pee Wee.
Peace, Shank. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody who made this possible for us to build our own platform. As y'all can see my picture on there. I'm basically what they call the person. So, but Shank, I want to thank you for giving me the courage, the inspiration, the drive, all the moderators from 80s Baby, Miss Groovy, Mel, Maul, all your moderators that was over on your side. I want to thank them first for making this possible for us to bring our first podcast to this platform, to the Still Swinging platform. I blessings to all y'all. I thank y'all very much. I really appreciate y'all. My gratitude goes beyond the world can see. All right, now, Shank, I sent you the clip, bro. I guess we'll get into the clip later on. But my view on this is, I hear, and I'm not bashing women, but I hear a lot of women say that they want an emotionally mature man. Let me tell you what's first and foremost. Let me tell you what's not emotionally mature, so you will know. What's not emotionally mature is a man that can't express himself. We know that. What's not emotionally mature is a man that can't bring his feelings to anyone without being aggressive, flamboyant, frustrated, or aggravated. That's not emotionally mature. Um, and what's not emotionally mature is not being able to freely be in a relationship freely and be able to be yourself, because you have to always be the protector, even though we know the man is the protector. But sometimes I just want to be able to relax around my lady without knowing that she's going to start trouble, or she's going to say that she didn't feel protected, or she feel insecure, or whatever the case may be. So we're talking about what's not. So, and then women will be quick to say that we as men don't know how to express our feelings, right? So when we start to express our feelings, or when we start to talk about what's going on, or when we have problems and we bring it to you, now we're soft, we're bees, we're unmanly, we're struck down, we man up, all that stuff. So That's where the confusion come in for the man. Now, if a man is sensitive, now listen, let me say this. A lot of those guys who's quick to jump, quick to respond, they are emotionally sensitive. All those guys, half the guys that's in prison, they are in prison for murder and stuff of that sort because they was unable to be mature enough to handle whatever situation there was, and they acted out of emotions, right? So now when I'm confronted with a young lady or a woman, but I'm not, that's not my present relationship because I'm able to freely express myself in my relationship. But before I got to this point, and I find myself what we call suppressing my emotions, uh, not talking about how I feel, not being able to discuss with my significant other, or my friends, what per se, my friends saying, "Stop being soft, stop, man." I don't have those kind of friends today because what I came to understand is, as a human being, I have the same emotions and feelings and operations as you do. But because of our genital areas and how I feel about it, or how you feel about me, I'm sensitive. I'm unemotional, mature. I can't handle my feelings. I don't know how to talk about my feelings. Men don't know how to express their feelings. So, okay, so this is where my confusion comes in, Shank. If I can't emotionally tap in with you as my woman, how do I express to you how I feel?
Mm.
If I can't emotionally tap in to my own feelings of, because guess what? I have an X and a Y chromosome.
Break it
That
down.
means
Break it
that means
down. Stay right there. Break it
I
down.
have a I have a male and a female gender inside of me, right?
Mm.
The same way you have a female and a male gender inside of you. So if I'm not able to express these things, then what happens? Let me give you a series of events. What happens is that I begin to I begin to oppress them. Then they start to come out in unannounced ways. What you mean unannounced ways, Pee Wee? What I'm saying is they start to come out in ways that I don't give permission to come out. They just show up. They start to come out in my attitude. They start to come out in me neglecting you. Uh, they start to come out in me avoiding you. It starts to come
Mm.
out in all these things. So, but at the same time, I'm confused because I don't want to feel. I don't want to be emasculated as a man because I have emotional feelings that's connected to yours, but I'm being treated like mine is not as important as yours are.
Mm.
So then we get to this. Then we get to the aggressive woman whose Y chromosome has become more aggressive to her because she don't know how to tap into her X chromosome to say that she got to be able to balance this. See, as human beings, we got to be able to balance these two genders that lies inside of each one of us, right? We have to be able to balance, and we have to be in an atmosphere that's safe and that's safe for us to express those to our partners, so we can have a productive and healthy relationship.
Mm. 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 Wake us up.
You understand what I'm saying? So now because a man, and they say because a man is more sensitive, and even if he is more sensitive, how about you? Him as a man, if he's that sensitive, how can he how will we imagine how sensitive you are?
Mm.
That means he's able to tap into, he's able to feel, listen, it's this thing that we call empathy that we have,
Mm. Mm.
right? Empathy meaning I'm being able to put myself in your place, and you've been able to put yourself in my place. You've been able to know how I feel. I'm being able to understand how you feel. But we're not given that opportunity when we're emasculated as men, or when we are struck down for showing our feelings or our emotions. So what is it? So do we emotionally share with y'all, or we emotionally tell y'all what's wrong, or do we hold it, or do we suppress it, or then it come out, and then when it do come out, or it comes out in a manner that's not healthy, we demasculate it, or you're not, you sensitive. So how do a man express himself? So how, I mean, because us as human, we're all in one thing, human beings. So
Mm,
that means basically in human beings, in this race of people, humans, we basically all share the same kind of feelings and emotions. We all the same inside. If you stick me with a needle and stick Shank with a needle, we both gonna bleed.
mm,
If you stick a woman with a needle and a man with a needle, they both gonna bleed.
mm,
So that means somewhere there's a lot of similarities between the two.
mm,
So, you know, I don't know what women be expecting from us as men. Like, how do we become, like, let me say again, because I can use my present relationship as a former point. I feel emotionally free in my relationship, meaning we can talk about anything. We might not agree on it. We might not agree upon it, but it's able to be talked about. I don't feel like I will be feel less than a man by me expressing myself in my present relationship. She's going to listen. She might not like what I'm saying, but she's going to listen. She might not agree with what I'm saying, but she's going to listen, meaning she's going to take in consideration me as a person, as a human being, and her as well. And I do the same thing for her as well. Regardless of how I don't want to hear it sometimes. Sometimes I think it's BS. And she taught me this. Sometimes I think it's BS, but just hear it out and understand where she's coming from, so we can have an understanding, so we can remain together and continue to move forward in our relationship. A lot of times, a lot of relationships would have been a lot better if
mm,
you allowed him. And I'm just talking about him this time. But if you allowed him to express himself,
mm, 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 mm. Good
if you
teaching.
allow him to feel emotionally comfortable in the relationship. See, that's the thing about it, is a lot of relationships today and a lot of relationships from the past, a lot of them relationships ended because he wasn't emotionally comfortable.
Mm,
He just wasn't emotionally comfortable. I've been in a relationship when I'm not emotionally comfortable. How I can see what's coming. It's called foresight. I can see what's coming because it happened before. Every time I express some or I emotion something, then I gotta be soft. Stop acting like a bee. Stop doing this or stop doing that. Why should I have to stop being who I am? And I mean just being a human being sometimes. Like, I just want somebody to listen. Like I had women tell me this. Sometimes I don't want you to solve the problem. I just want you to listen to me.
mm, mm. Wake us up. Good teaching. Good teaching.
I just want you to listen to me. Sometimes people ain't looking for advice. They just looking for an ear.
Mm, mm,
A lot of times when we get into these situations, these emotional storms, because sometimes the storm don't even have nothing to do with the relationship. It might have something to do with the inside of me that I'm going through, that I might want to express it to my woman. It ain't got nothing to do with her.
mm, mm,
How I'm feeling. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do. The relationship is great. Everything is cool, or we cool at the time. Everything is going on, but it's something that's going on with me
mm,
that I need to express to her, that I might need her to comfort me in, or give me that what we call support.
mm,
Or just, how sometimes we all need a word of encouragement, just don't know that we need it.
mm. You teaching today. You teaching. Good
You
teaching.
understand? You understand what I'm saying? So when I need that, and I need that somebody to express it to, who should be the most comfortable person that I should be able to express that to? The person that I'm in a relationship with. That should be the most comfortablest relationship. This should be the most comfortablest conversation. This should be the most comfortablest place I should be most familiar with, because why? I live, I eat, I sleep, I engage. and sexual activities with this woman. I do everything with this person, whether it be woman, child, woman, man, woman, whatever it may be. Who should I feel more comfortable with? Because this is the person that I put my life in their hands. I share my life with this person. So why should I be able to be comfortable to express myself as a man with this person? Or as a significant other with this person? I don't get it. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me see why I have to be emasculated for being emotionally woke or aware of who I am. That's what I'm trying to figure out because women, my sisters, people who's listening on the playback, whatever, but females, period, right? Why is yours more important than mine?
Wake us up. Wake us up today.
Why should yours be more stroked more than mine should be? Are we not do we not all not going to be here forever? Are we all not going to do we all not need water to survive? Do we all not need to eat to survive? So that means you're just as your mine is just as important as yours. Because listen, if you don't drink no water, I don't drink no water, we both gonna die, right? So if you listen, if you were you as a woman, if you weren't able to express your feelings or because I'm quite a lot of women that is because men don't tend to seem to take a lot of women feelings in account neither, because she's just whining, you just do this, you just that, because we're providers and we think because we provide you're supposed to shut up and just do. No. You are a woman, and when we have to understand that you are more emotional than we are, and that you have to express yourself, right? But at the same time, understand that we have to be there to listen, to coddle, to love, to support, all for you. But what about us, man? What about me? What about me being me needing the same support? A lot of times, and I'm not saying every relationship, I'm not saying every person, but what I see in front of me is this is what's going on. Man be called sensitive, BANs. You know what I mean? We dealing with that. Or he got to do this. That don't make him no less than a man because he got feelings and emotions. That make me less than a man because I can go to my woman and say, babe, you hurt my feelings. How many men I got that freedom in my relationship, but how many men? Let's how many relationships, how many men have the freedom to go to that woman and she say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, it wasn't done on purpose, or whatever the case may be, right? How many men have that freedom in that relationship? How many, man? And that's what I be talking about. Like it's like men listen. I don't have because I want everybody to understand this. I don't have to be incarcerated to be behind bars. Let me say that again. I don't have to be incarcerated to be behind bars because there's a such thing as called emotional bars, and it's a such thing called mental bars. So if I put myself behind them or I feel locked behind them, then I still feel trapped. I still feel like I'm not free. I'm free, but I'm not free. I'm free physically, but not mentally and emotionally. I'm free mentally, but not emotionally.
This is Seamus. I'm going out for my birthday. I'll be.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So that's the things that we got to be aware of. That's the things that we got to pay attention to. Is your man free? Shank, give me a second, Shank.
Okay, I'm gonna just build off of what Pee Wee. Matter of fact, let me grab some comments. Salute Tracy. Salute Tracy. If you see you with a wrench, if you see your name in blue, it's to be a moderator over here. I appreciate you all for pulling up. You all are always supportive. So that's why I gave out the wrenches. Let me grab some comments. Ms. Ruby says facts. Ms. Gruey says unhealthy ways. Ms. Gruey says communication is key in any relationship, but in a partnership, you have to have balance. Ms. Groovy also says your lap should be his safe space and he should be able to share his thoughts and feelings. Mel says, with that level of comfortability be established in the dating process. See, when dating, we are only sharing what is asked, but people don't like to ask or answer hard questions. That's facts, Mel. And I dropped the link if anyone would like to join the panel with me and Pee Wee. We're also waiting for Tommy to pull up. But ladies, I want to hear y'all input on this as well. So please feel free, ladies, to join the panel. I think Pee Wee really touched off on an excellent bullet point. His bullet points were excellent. Now, I've been in relationships like that. I can go back and reminisce on relationships that I've been in that. 80s Baby says it has a lot to do with how you are raised to handle conflicts with the opposite gender. Now, I will say that maybe in the 80s, salute Mel, give me 2
Salute,
seconds.
Shane.
Give me
go
2
ahead.
seconds. I'll let you know. Maybe like back in the 80s, for me, my relationships were like that. You know, my other half would, want my opinion and want me to, express my feelings. But then as gangster rap came in, I do see the change in gangster rap that it had on our community, because we went from being cool, we went from being the Ralph Tresvant type guy. You need someone with sensitivity. And believe it or not, the ladies were loving that song. They were loving that song. So then when gangster rap came in and the hardcore rap, and it kind of like shifted, then you pretty much had females not wanting that kind of guy. So it kind of like it hurt us in so many ways, is what I'm trying to say. But come on in, Mel, you slide in.
Salute Pee Wee and salute Shane. Yeah, I think it was pretty much like in my comment. Even I guess back in those days, we did most of the music that we listened to was more about love and just different things. But even as you think about it, when you go through different phases of your life, even for some people that got married young and probably like 30 years later, and I'm still married, you still had to go through some things, right? And you still do, but a lot of times, I think I got to a point in my life, and God rest his soul, but one of my brothers, one of my older brothers, when I moved to Atlanta, where he was staying, we used to rap all the time. And he used to always tell me, he said, you have to ask hard questions. Because the only way you're going to get to know someone is you have to ask hard questions and not be afraid to ask hard questions. And I think a lot of that has to do with a little bit why I'm single today, because I don't have an issue with a man being sensitive, or because we're humans, we should all be sensitive. But is in the dating process, we miss some of the things because of our other wants and needs that we have at that time. It could be the physical touch, or it could be financial. You feel me? So in that process of dating, we're listening only for those things that fit our needs at that time. You feel me?
Yes.
So whatever fits our need at that time, those are the things that we're listening for. So it's almost like, now you're on the train, but dang it, God, that wheel fell off. Now, what's the expectations? So you may say, I can really fix that wheel, but I have this, but I'm gonna need that, right? To fix that wheel. And so that's where it comes in at the part about, okay, well, I need somebody to be able to fix the whole wheel. I don't need nobody to tell me what they can't do. I need you to fix the whole wheel, but not really realizing that the other part of that wheel that needs fixing, I can't supply it. You have to supply that, right? So it may, and it may not be anything like, like financial, but, and the wheel was just a metaphor of something else that could happen. So
Mhm.
when you're there in your current relationships, you didn't learn something about fixing that wheel before you got there because you were only looking to fulfill what was needed at that time. So we can date, we can ask, questions, and some questions are really, really, really basic questions, enough for me to get to know you so that you can fulfill whatever I'm needing at this time. But what about the long term of that? So I don't ask those questions that's going to get me over the long term part of that hump. And that is where how we get to that point. So the woman said, well, I don't want a man that's sensitive, but why not? Because we're all human, so it has to be a part of sensitivity there. Like I don't mind a man that cries. I mean, it shows me that they have feelings. But to go on Shake's side, when different kind of music came out, that new generation still pillaring over into the um older or previous generations that a man has got to be, brick wall hard. And that's not really the case. Because if everything is brick hard, how do we go through it? Or how do we get that feeling of the human touch if I can't feel that human touch because you are brick hard? Or you know what I mean? I hope I'm not losing you guys, but
Now you on point.
No, we listening.
yeah, just how do I get that? Because that brick hard part, like I didn't discuss that. I don't know how to get around that because I didn't ask them how to get around that. I didn't ask you, you know, what makes you sensitive, or what make you laugh, what make you cry. Um, how would how did you see this done? Whether it was your mom, your dad, your grandma, your sister, your aunt, like I didn't ask you those hard questions because at that time I was just trying to find that part of you that was going to fulfill that immediate need that I had at that time. And whatever you said just worked for me. And so that's how you get to that part of now that I'm getting to know this person. I didn't know that about you. And then you're saying, but you didn't ask. Yeah, but you didn't tell me. So we have to get used to, even in the dating process and even in the relationship process, of being able to chill and ask those hard questions, because I guarantee you, even if you're in newer relationships, and they may be all great, but I guarantee you there were some hard questions that you didn't ask. You still have answers because there's a part of you that's holding back. You don't know how to reveal that side of you because you didn't ask the questions in the beginning to learn how that person will handle that part of you that you're holding on to. I digress.
All right. Hold on, Tommy. I got you. Before we let Tommy come in and let him, but Mel, I gotta respond to this. First thing you said was that them hard questions. Now, at the beginning of this relationship that I'm presently in, I was comfortable with who I was at the time. So I wasn't just talking about the now. I was talking about the future too, because I already knew that the person that she was the ideal person of the vision that I had in my head of who I wanted what I wanted my woman to look like at the present time. So I wasn't just talking about what I needed then, and plus I was cool with what I needed then because I had everything that I had for myself, right? The second part is that I was thinking about the long term. Cause now I'm at the age where as though running around and smashing and getting and having sex is just not, it's just like I done had enough sex in my life to where as though, okay, that's not just the only thing important. I need somebody that's going to be able to fulfill, like you said, them other emotional and mental and supportive needs, right? Which I asked, and then the third thing you said was asking them hard questions. That's all I had at first was them hard questions of how can, and one of my things was, especially on my dating sites, was I know a gold digger when I see one. I could see a woman with a shovel because that's all I knew. That's all I seen that. I paid my way for females with females, doing it with females and all that stuff. I paid my way, and as a man, I don't think there's a problem with that. But how about show me some appreciation and pay some times too, right? So, and that's what she did. Our first and our second date, the first one was on me, the second one was on her, and I had to pay nothing the second date, and I was impressed with that. But at the same time, like you said, when instead of thinking about what's in the moment, I was like, and she was there too. Thank God that we was able to meet at the time we were, but she was there too. But we wasn't talking about just now, because now was good. Everybody had everything that they needed then, except for the relationship. And then as we got into it, it was like bumps that we had to go through. But at never no time, because I asked this question, well, what happens when I come home and I'm messed up, or I done had a hard day and I gotta vent to you, and that might be aggressive, but it's not towards you. And do you know that it's not towards you? You know what I mean? Them was the hard questions that I had to ask. Like I like my feelings get hurt sometimes too. But I'm gonna go ahead and digress. I'm gonna let Tommy come. Shank, you can explain to Tommy where we at with that, what we doing. Or Tommy, I sent you the video. You seen the video.
And after Tommy slide in, I'm going to actually play the video, and
Okay.
then we all can rebuttal off of the video. So
What
Tommy,
was the question, Shank Rock?
how do you deal with a man that's more sensitive than you?
Okay. Let me start off by saying salute to the Rock Squad. Hope everybody having a wonderful evening. I apologize for being late to the show. I didn't check my board, and I scheduled a meeting for right before this, but it's all good, everybody. So Shank, my feelings on that is I don't know. I campaign against it. I mean, I talk to my sons about it every day because a lot of people, it's hard to get them to understand that the things that work for a woman will not work for a man. The things that work for a man will not work for a woman. See, we as human beings got a tendency to look inside ourselves and project that on others. It's called projection. You know what I'm saying? We think the way we feeling is the way everybody feeling for the most part, simply because the only thing we know about the way we feel is the way we feel. So we think everybody feel the way we feel until other people open their mouth and speak, right? And then we know, like, okay, he not feeling like I'm feeling. She not feeling like I'm feeling. And a man's perception is that not that we gotta be rock hard and all of that stuff. We don't know nothing about that. All a man know is that life tell us every day that we must live in reality. We cannot make stuff that's not this, that. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, I cannot look at a situation, right? And because I don't like that situation and say, okay, well, that situation not really what it is. It's really this. When I know it's not that, I can't make it to be what I want it to be simply because that'll make me feel better if I liked it. You understand? Like, bro, when it come right down to it, men can't afford to really live their life in their feelings. We gotta, for the most part, be sure. Even if we wrong, we think we sure. Okay? Because my perception of love might be different from your perception of love. And a lot of times it probably is. It's going to conflict somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to be all in with a person, I know I don't got to be madly in love with them. Where in order for her to be all in with me, she got straight up be in love with me. You understand? That's the only way some women can see giving their self fully, as if they fully in love. And me as a man, I know that as long as this happening, that happening, and that happening, that I'ma eventually feel that way. I might not be all feeling that way right now, but eventually, you know what I'm saying? It's going to get to that point where I do feel a certain way. Maybe not, you know what I'm saying? To where, because I don't know about all of this Wonderland and, you know, these Disney love stories. Like, bro, that's just not the way I see things. I see things differently. I think, like, bro, as a man, you should act like one. All right. I think you should stand on that all the time that you a man. Okay. I think stress is for shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And I rather carry the stress. I don't want. Why do everybody need to be stressing if we here together? You know what I'm saying? I don't want my family stressing. I don't want my woman stressing. You feel me? Like, let me do the stressing. You know, on this side. You know, but if you that type of person, right? That you know you stay in your feelings, for a man it really become a problem, you know. And I'm not saying, when I say, I'm like, bro, I'm not meaning you gotta be chest out and hard and all, because bro, that's not what a man is. That don't dictate your manhood. What dictate your manhood to me is your level of seriousness towards life and the things that you are responsible for. You understand what I'm saying? And when you live in your life like that, bro, where do sensitivity actually come in? Okay, now when I'm dealing with my woman, yeah, it's gonna be different than when I'm dealing with somebody else. That's just the way it is, because this my woman, and it's more like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, I know where her and myself are, you know, and I know the role that I play in her life. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to be crying, and it's not to be whining, and it's not to be making her worry because I'm worrying. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it like that. You know what I mean? I want to carry the burden of the things that naturally bring problems to the family. I want to carry that burden. You feel me? I want to be the one to keep it in order, keep everything moving smooth. Okay? So she can have her lane to worry about the things we need her to worry about. You feel me? Not be worried about me because I'm sensitive and I left out the house this morning crying about whatever. No, no, man. I don't feel that personally. That's not how that's not how I believe a man should carry himself. I believe a man should stand 10 toes down and being a man, being responsible and rolling with the punches. You know what I'm saying? So Shank Rock, you could play the video and I give more, but that's where I stand. I don't believe in all that sensitivity, bro.
Okay, good. And we go
Shank,
ahead now.
before you play the video, I just wanted to say, um, like I understand the part about the man, but I know you're, and this is not directed at you personally. I'm just making a generalized statement. I know you're a man, but when do I see the human side of you?
First of all, the man is human. All right, I'm human. I'm just not human the way you human. Me and you are wired two different ways. I'm not wired the way you are. And if you expect me to be wired the way you are wired, trust me, that's not gonna work.
So, and then again, this not directed at you personally. This is just a generalized question that anybody can answer. So, would I be led to think that God gave us two different hearts?
Yeah, you would be. You would
Um,
be. God definitely gave us two different hearts. Like he gave us two different bodies. Like he gave us two different minds. He didn't give us the same anything.
You okay? I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait until the what's the name played.
Yeah, let
Oh,
me play it real quick, and then we're gonna come back. My phone. I'm hoping that my phone don't cut off. My battery went dead. I apologize. Let me play it, and then we're gonna come back. Give me 2 seconds, please. Don't cut off on me.
How do you deal with a man that is more sensitive than you? It gets strange for me in conversations like these when we talk about one party being more sensitive or more soft. And a lot of times that kind of boxes men in, and it's alarming because if a man can't be sensitive and soft in his relationship, then where can he be? Like I'm like I don't know too many men that don't want to take their guard down with their old lady. Like I don't want to have to come home and protect myself from you. Like do you know what I gotta go through out in the world, and then to have to come home and guard and tiptoe with you because I can't be vulnerable? Like even when we use the word soft, bro, a man being hard all the time will destroy him. Get you a man that gotta be hard all the time and see how he handle you. Brother, a man has to find softness in himself to properly handle those parts of you. Empathy is like a huge quality that's necessary for a healthy partnership. And in order to empathize, one almost has to see oneself. And if a man can't see himself in your emotions, if he can't see himself in your softness, then again, what do you think he's going to do? So when you talk about not wanting a man that's more sensitive than you, that's you falling into training that cuts pieces of a man off. And then you complain about those pieces being missing when he show up at your doorstep. How do you deal with a man that
All right. Let Miss Groovy come in, and then Pee Wee, you take back over. Come on, Miss
all
Groovy.
right.
Hey y'all.
How you doing, Miss Groovy?
I'm Miss Groovy. I kind of feel like Tommy contradicted himself in a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you why before you jump on me. Because you said that you want to be the one to carry the burden. You want to be the one to stand basically 10 toes down, right? You don't want your woman or your kids worrying about this or that. Now, where does okay, your partner as your wife or your girlfriend, or I don't know if you're married, but when a woman comes to a man, she doesn't have to be in love with him to do the things that she does for him. We just have to know that we're in a safe space in order for us to do those things. And as far as the stressing falling on the man, now granted, yeah, most men do want to take, on all the heavy lifting. But if you have a partner who is willing to get into the trenches with you, it makes for a better relationship. Like if you're having a hard time and she come to you and say, "Babe, look, this is what we can do." Are you not going to hear her suggestion, or are you going to say, "Don't worry about it, I'll handle it"? Because if she's offering a solution to a problem that you have been dealing with for a couple weeks, and she comes at you with a real solution, and she's able to work her solution, are you still not going to hear what she's saying, or are you going to hold on to that stress of the situation?
You asking me that?
No,
Yes.
she just. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh.
All right. Number one, I didn't see where you said I was contradicting myself at all. I listened to you carefully, but I didn't hear the contradiction. That's number
Because you
one.
said you don't want her. Okay, you said you don't want your woman stressing or your kids stressing about anything. You want to take on the weight of that stress. But I'm saying if she comes with a legitimate solution to your issue and she's telling you, babe, you ain't got to carry this by yourself. I'm here. Are you not going to listen to her? Or are
First
you
of
not
all,
going to
no,
consider what she's saying to you?
what I'm saying is I never one time said I wouldn't listen to my woman. That's something you just made up. See, that's what I
No, I
mean when I
wasn't
say,
saying
listen,
you
hold up. I
specifically.
let you speak. That's not what I see. That's what I mean when I say listen to comprehend and not listen to respond. I never in one way, shape, or form said her words wouldn't matter. I wouldn't listen to her. I spoke of nothing like that. And that's not a contradiction. What you just explained is not a contradiction at all. You know, I just said that I want to bear the burden of the stress of the family. That's not saying if my wife got something important to add that I won't listen. Where did that you get that out of that?
I wasn't saying you specifically. I'm just
No,
saying
no,
in
no. But why
general
would
because
you
you said
bring
you
that
wanted to
up?
carry the
Why would
carry
you
the
even
burden
bring that
yourself.
up when that was never stated? Why would that come into play of my statement when that was never insinuated? That was never brought up. That was never even a topic. You just added that on for your own and then called me a contradiction. That's not cool. That's not fair. That's not right because that's not what I did. And
No,
I never once listen. My wife always got an opinion. My wife always got her point of view. Okay, always. She always got her point of view. Never taking nothing away from my wife because I want to take care of the family.
what I was
I'm
saying
never
is you said
downplaying my wife. Okay, my wife got a very serious role that is very important, and so do I. We both need to take our roles very seriously. Okay, so the motion of the family can be as smooth as possible.
Let me slide in. Let me slide in, y'all. Let's break it up, okay? I'm gonna come to everybody, and remember, everybody, it's just opinions. I want everybody to give me their opinion on what they consider to be sensitive. Mel, what do you consider to be sensitive as far as when it comes to a man? Okay, go ahead, Mel.
I'm here, but it, it it's hard for me to answer that question, and the reason why it's hard for me to answer that question is because I don't have an opinion on that. Because I believe that a human is a human, whether you're a man or a woman. I mean, I understand that from the video that you were playing, exactly what that guy was saying, and what he's saying is that he's vulnerable as well, and the stuff that he deal with out every day, as far as even trying to provide for the family. When he come home, he want to know that he can release that and not be at battle when he's having a battle, like in the workplace, and then he comes home. He wants to be able to release his feelings and his frustrations to someone that would just be an ear and listen. Not saying that you got to fix the problem, but this is what I'm dealing with. Because when men, or even women, but we'll just say men, if you carry all of that, all of the things that you deal with when you're out trying to provide for your family, and you don't have a way to release that, I'm sorry, but all of that builds up into tension, which can cause domestic violence, alcoholism, drug addicts, people just leaving because of the stress that they have, or also can cause infidelity because they need to release that. And that's what I was, I guess, the point when I was making about being a man and also being a human with human feelings. So basically, I agree with that guy. He has to be able to come home and release that, to be able to talk to someone without feeling like he's whining or, being insensitive. Because I don't have an opinion on how sensitive a man should be. I really don't.
Okay. Now I'm gonna come to you, Tommy. Now I'm gonna change the question a little bit for you, Tommy, so I could kind of like get Miss Groovy to see where you're coming from. Okay, for you, Tommy, let's say you had a bad day at the office. Okay, you come home. When you come home from a bad day at the office, do you want to vent to your woman? Do you feel as though you can vent to her? Where at in your brain do you cross that road where you have to go to her to vent?
Um, if I had a hard day at the office, and no, I'm probably not gonna go home and vent to my woman about it. I'm probably not gonna do that. Matter of fact, I know I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean when I say, you gotta roll with the punches. Some of the punches gonna be harder than others. You know what I'm saying?
Stay right there, Tommy. Now let me come back. Do you ever cross that road in any circumstances? Do you vent to her?
Where if it's necessary, Shank Rock. If it's
Give us
necessary,
give us an example, and then Miss Groovy, maybe you could see exactly where he's coming from off of an example that, and you might not have no example, but can you give us an example?
let me see, Shank Rock. All right. Let's say for example, something happened. Like, let's say I had a job, right, and I got fired from my job. That affect both of us. I need to come home and break that down to her and explain that to her and make her aware. You feel me? Because that directly affect both of us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that should be hidden from her. It's not something that you just put the H on your chest and handle it on your own. No, when it's something that serious, where it's going to affect the motion of the family, then that's when I believe you got to open up about it. You know what I'm saying? And she need to know everything. You feel me? Not that you BS her or try to, you know what I'm saying, make it less than it is or more. I mean, that's when I think you need to open up. But if it's just something that the day was more unusual than yesterday, okay, no, I don't really think you need to unload that on her. You know what I'm saying? Because I know just as well as I had a stressful day, Shank Rock, doing the things that is required of me, she had one also doing the things that's required of her. Now, if she got something that she wanna share with me, sure, I'm all ears. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to put her under some random stress just because the day wasn't as kosher as it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she need to know, then yeah, of course I'll open up. But if it's not only affecting me, then I put the H on my chest.
I'm gonna come to you, Miss Groovy, and then I'm gonna let you come back, Pee Wee. Now, Miss Groovy, you can either go back to Tommy, you could clear up maybe something Tommy may have mistaken wrong. I'll leave that up to you. But somewhere in there, if you could give me your definition on a man being sensitive. Go ahead, Ms.
Okay.
Groovy.
First, I want to say to Tommy, I wasn't saying that your wife didn't have an opinion on anything. I was just saying that sometimes the stress of a man, just a man, period. One, we know that y'all first are black men. Second, you have the stresses of the world once you walk out the door, and then when you come home, I feel as though that a wife should be a husband's sanctuary. Like anything that he feels that he needs to speak on or talk about, or y'all having dialogue or conversation, I feel like your wife should be the one person that you should be able to talk to about anything. That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't saying that your wife didn't have an opinion or a say so. I wasn't saying that at all. Now, as far as the sensitive thing, again, I feel like a wife should be a sanctuary to her husband. So when he comes home, whether it's a hard day at work, a layoff, or any issue that he's dealing with, he should be able to talk to her if he can't talk to nobody else in the world. So the sensitive thing, as far as I'm concerned, when a man can't talk to his significant other, the person that he shares a bed with at night, I feel as though that right there causes a hell of a lot of problems. Like Mel said, it goes from infidelity to abuse to all of these different things if he can't speak to the one person that he feels the closest to. Now, granted, yes, sometimes when it comes to situations, men may, yell, scream, be pissed off, or whatever the case may be, and he's not talking to his wife. He's talking to his wife, but he's not talking to his wife, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, he's talking about the situation, and he may be yelling, but he's not yelling at her. He's yelling at the situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I feel like when it comes to partnership and relationship with the person that you're supposed to care about the most and that's supposed to care about you the most, you should be able to have those sensitive conversations without them judging you or bringing it back up to throw it up in your face as a diss, is what I'm saying. So I feel as though that young man, he spoke the truth. If I come home from a hard day at work and I can't talk to you, what do I need you for? If I can't be vulnerable and sensitive with you as my partner, as my love, as my heart, and I'm sharing a bed with you at night, what do I need you for? Because I can lay in the bed by myself, or I could sleep with anybody at, you know what I'm saying, at the club. But you don't tell those type of people all your issues. You understand what I'm saying? When you get a person that you can relate to and that relates to you and takes everything that you say to heart and you take everything they say to heart, when it comes to a serious situation, we don't have to have that kind of back and forth where she's calling him out of his name and different other things and stuff like that. If we having this conversation and it's a situation where I have to be vulnerable, baby, come here, lay in my lap. Let's talk about it.
Pee Wee,
You?
bring us back home.
All right. First and foremost, I see everybody point. Let me say this. Let me start off by saying this first. Is that everything is not for everybody.
Hmm.
Meaning everything that goes on in my home, Shank's home, Tommy home, Miss Groovy home, um, Miss Mel home is not for everybody, right? Let me first say that. Second of all, me and Tommy don't wear the same size shoe. Meaning what fits him
Hmm.
might not fit me, what fit me might not fit him. I
Exactly.
understand, I understand where he's coming from, but let me say this. And like the man that and that was the reason for me sending the video to both of y'all for the understanding is that listen, where I pay bills at, where I lay my head at, where I reside at, where I should feel the safest place in the world you should feel is where? In your home.
At home.
It's in your home. So in my home, if I'm the person. See, because I understand is if I talk about it, if I express it, regardless of how I express it, it's more safer. Not for the people, only for the people who surrounds me, but as well as for myself as well. What you talking about, Pee Wee? Because I can talk. my feelings down. I can talk my emotions away. I can discuss them with the person that I live with is in my house. That's what I was talking about when I said an emotionally safe place for a man. A man, this is necessary. So, with that being said, if you're a man, and all I talk to is men who don't know how to, or don't have the experience in dealing with their own emotions, how can they deal with mine?
Mhm.
Right? So a woman who always is more emotional than logic than men are, why would I not take the person with the more emotional experience versus the one without the emotional experience? Right? So so we arrive back here is when I get to a place where I need to vent, right? I need to talk about it. Something happened in my day. My friends got their own homes, they got their own problems, they got their own situations. But my partner, as Tommy said, we should what I do affects her and what she do affects me. Why not talk about with that person, talk about that to the person that affect instead of being scared and saying, yo, how can I do this? Or coming up with some plan that can jeopardize myself, my sanity, all that, because I didn't want to take it to the person that it affects the most, and that's my partner, right? So I understand, Tommy, is we are wired differently. We are built to provide, take care, look upon, uh, protect. That's what a man. And see, this is the problem what I have with that is we accept all these roles that other people say that we supposed to have.
Mhm.
Oh, and she started, and she supposed to be this. She supposed to be able to do this in magical tricks or whatever. This is what other people said it was supposed to be. What about what you want your relationship to look like? What do you want to see? Because mine look exactly like I want it to look like right at this moment. Like I'm emotionally free. I can come home. I can event. Listen, I love Tommy and I love Shank, but my girl, I can talk to about anything without a bit of judgment. And if she is judging, she gonna say, "Well, babe, well, this and this and this," and she gonna tell me how she feel about it, and I'm be like, "Well, okay, that's how you feel about it. We not gonna argue about it. She have a right to her emotions about it, but I feel free to go home and talk to her about anything that I need to talk about." Right? Anything I need, when the job get on my nerves, when the supervisors get on my nerves, when the co-workers get on my nerves, whatever, I can go home, you know what I'm saying? Because this how my life's been going. You know what I'm saying? I can go home and I can express this stuff to her. So I'm just saying, what is sensitivity? Is it me expressing myself? Does that make me sensitive? In some ways I am sensitive. To some things I am sensitive, but not to all things. That's that's just called being human. Like Miss Groovy was saying, or Mel was saying, at what part do I show my sensitivity freely and safely to the person I'm in a relationship with as a man? When is that okay? When is that acceptable? That's what I be talking about. Now, understanding that and because I'm asked the reason why this came about because of the aggression, like Shank said from the music and all that stuff, the aggression and all that stuff that came into the woman who looked down on a man who expressed herself, or as we want to air quotes label him sensitive, right? So when do his sensitive when is his all right to be human and his emotional sensitivity, and she accept it, and she understand that aggression is aggression against aggression, Tommy, because you meet aggression with aggression, right?
Mhm.
So when does she understand that by downplaying his emotion and being more, because listen, in that moment, if I'm sensitive and she's aggressive, does the roles not switch? Or can we be on the same level and she understand my feelings and my emotions, and then when I'm aggressive, she understand my aggression is and the reason why I'm aggressive. Because 9 out of 10, if I get aggressive, my lady know why I'm aggressive. She
Mm-hmm.
will say, "Oh no, he didn't. This is why he did. This is why he responded like that. Because why we had them hard conversations, Mel. You understand what I'm saying? We talked about what the likes and the dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
We discuss. We talk. We have conversations. We have those hard conversations when it's just me and her. You understand what I'm saying? So at what point? At what point do we say it's all right to express my feelings, or even to have those vulnerable moments, like he said? When is it all right then? When is it all right for me to be vulnerable without being looked upon as sensitive?
Or weak.
Exactly. So that's just where I'm at with it. Like, where at what point, where's these boundaries drawn? And I think Miss Mel hit it on the head when she said, at the beginning of these relationships, do we have these hard conversations? Do we have them awkward conversations? Or, because listen, 9 out of 10, if you figure out what you don't want, you can figure out what you do want, and then understand that all of it, and then you be able to express exactly what you want, because you know what you don't want from your
Right.
experience, right? You know what I can't deal with this. I didn't like this. I didn't like. I don't care if you're looking at all the relationships as a whole. Whatever they did, and them experience, you got them experiences. So I know what I don't want. This is what me and my lady talked about. We knew what we didn't want, right? And by subtracting what I didn't want, I knew what I wanted. And anything out of what I wanted, if it wasn't there, it wasn't acceptable. Now, we can take one or two. We probably short one or short two, whatever the case may be. But if I got more majority, if I'm winning more than I'm losing, I'm gonna go with the win.
Right. Because it kind of all depends on what are you willing to put up with. Like, not saying like actual red flags, but it's like the small things. And I get it, small things turn into big things, but what I'm saying is, okay, 90% of the people, well, I can't say 90%, but I'll say 70% of people, they look for the visual. If it looks good to them, okay, I could take her. They don't know if she a gold digger or if she a good girl, but at the end of the day, it's like, why did you choose her? You know what I'm saying? Did you
Mhm.
choose her because she at 36, 25, 36? Or did you choose her because she can enhance what you have going on? She can bring life to more life to what you got going on in your life. Most men that are over the age of 40, they're looking for somebody that they can settle down with, somebody that's going to bring something to the table, just like they're bringing something to the table. That's not going to be like, oh, I'm gonna stay at home and he going to take care of everything. He going to give me an allowance. He going to do this. He going to do that. But what do you bring to the table besides your body? Do you have anything up in your brain that you can share that can make us bigger than what we are right now? That's
Yeah.
it was a video that was going around of this guy who had flew this girl out. I don't know where they was at, but he flew her out. And then when he said they had been talking for months on Instagram and DM and video chat and all of that stuff, he get her there. He spends $5,000, and then they get to the hotel, and she was like, "Don't touch me," or whatever. But he was saying, "I just spent 5 bands, done flew you out, and all of this stuff." And not saying that she was obligated to give him any, no. But what I'm saying is, what did you know? What did you really know about her before you flew her out?
Yo,
What did you really know?
I mean, I get where you coming from and all, but the way I look at it is, it ain't none of my damn business what he seen in her or what she seen in him. All right, it's like I don't know, but you never gonna be able to be the judge of that, and don't nobody have to answer that to nobody.
No, what
Because
I'm saying is he
we
felt
as
he
human
got
beings,
played.
we like what we like, and we are attracted to what we are attracted to. It don't make us right. It don't make us wrong. It just make us different. That's all. It
Hmm.
and it been because I just I don't get some of these scenarios right because I don't come home and unpack my hard day to my woman. That's just not the way I'm built. And I've never led me the infidelity or beating her or none of that. It never did. I mean, and for most men who move like me, I don't know none of them that do that. Simply because they not wired the way they just throw their feelings on the table because she right here. That's just not the way he may handle things. But that don't mean that's gonna make him cheat on her. And that's gonna make him start abusing her in no kind of way, simply because that's not the way he built. That's not the way he live his life. I mean, listen, it don't gotta make somebody wrong. It just make them different. Okay, they just not the don't think the same as you, not and because you don't think the same as her, like me, like if a dude is emotional and all of that, look, that's how he do it. You know what I'm saying? You see, that's part of being a man. I completely understand how to mind my business of things that I'm not in control of, things that are not going to help me or harm me in no kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to visit. I'm not going to visit. I'm not going to visit those things on other people. You know what I mean? It's not like I said, it's not a point of right or wrong. It's a point that we just different and we are not the same, like Pee Wee said. You know what I'm saying? The things that might make me go may not be the things that make you go. All right. And because a person ain't all sensitive and won't tell you everything, don't mean that that person is not a human being or that person is going to be destructive in some type of way, and it got to be something negative simply that he is not wired that way. That is not a bad thing. That is just a thing. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got their preference. Their preference shouldn't have to be what you think it should be. Their preference should never have to be what I think it should be. What attracted her to him is her business. What attracted him to her is his business. Did they find a common ground? Did they make it work? Are they a cohesive unit? Okay, the bottom line is, okay, we all looking for what we want. We all are looking for the things that we want, and we all are looking for different things. We are all not looking for the same things. And just because I'm not looking for the same thing you're looking for, don't make me wrong. And it daggone sure don't make you right. It just make us different. That's all. And that's it. Okay. For anyone that sit here and put a label on it, you know what I'm saying? That's not human and all of this. Why? Why? Why is it not human? Because it's not what you would do. That I mean, I just think, you know what I'm saying? We need to be a lot more fair than that. We need to be a lot more open than that.
All right, Tommy, let me ask you a question then, bro. How do you now we all got situations where we gotta handle it, but we're not in control of it,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you got one of them situations where you gotta deal with the situation, but you're not in control of it, what, or how do you express them feelings?
I mean, bro, in that situation, I would lay it down the way it's supposed to be laid down. You know what I'm saying? Listen, me not expressing me not coming home and unpacking all of this stuff on my woman is not me hiding from her. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not hiding from her.
You,
Okay. I'm just not gonna make my bad day hers.
do you do you believe it? Do you believe if that's your significant other? Do you believe your actions or your feelings affect her?
Of course.
Okay. So so I'm just saying, and like once again, I'm asking the question: who
Okay.
or what do you express those feelings to, or do you just lay down with them, or you just deal with them? How and how do you deal with them?
Pee Wee, you know me better than anybody else. You already know how I deal with it. I, look, look, listen, I'm accepting all challenges life got. All right, for me. Okay, but anytime I can make her day easier, that's what I'm gonna choose to do. I'm gonna always choose to make her day as easy as I can. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
I already know it's a lot dealing with Tommy.
Okay.
I just have a question. What if she want to make the day easier for you?
I mean, yeah, of course. That's to be expected for her to make my day easier and for me to make her day easier. That's why we are a cohesive unit because we know that that's what's expected of us.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not gonna say it's right or I disagree with it, but I understand what you're saying. But for me, sometimes I need to pace back and forth and talk to my lady to get some shit off my chest, and for her to say I understand. And when it's all over again, when it's all over with, her give me a hug and say, "Babe, it's gonna be all right," and I know it's gonna be all right.
Joker, you do the same shit to me. Excuse my language. What you talking about?
Yo,
And I'm the
but
one that's sitting there going, man, here this nigga go. If you don't shut up.
yo, yo, but we don't even live in the same cities no more. So I need that person. I need the same way I would do with Shay.
Right,
I would never do with y'all because y'all my day ones. We've been doing this for years. But at the same time, y'all ain't got nothing that my girl got.
right.
Like you said. You know what
And I
I
don't want it. What you talking
mean?
about?
You know what I'm saying? And and the thing about it is, she's going to be more. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, would tell me, man, come on, Pee Wee, shut up, yo, go handle that shit and do what you got to do. My girl ain't gonna tell me that.
Right,
My girl gonna say, babe, it's gonna be all right. I understand. It's gonna be, you know what I mean? She gonna put them arms around me. She gonna hug me. She gonna make me feel secure, and she gonna kiss me and say, "Baby, it's gonna be all right." And that's gonna put that's gonna brighten the redness back up on the S on my chest. I'm
yeah,
gonna
well,
be able
you
to go
might
out there
want
and
to stay
deal with
there because you know I ain't doing none of that.
it. Right. So that's what I'm saying, and that's all Mel saying and Miss Groovy saying, like, you that should be. It's not about unpacking or whatever the case may be, because she know if it, some of the times I don't even got nothing to say to her because of the situation, or I can't express the situation because once I gotta get it together first. But once I get it together, I need to let her know what's going on with me. And by me let her know is how is that going to be met or accepted. And because listen, which you would or can she support you and say, well, babe, come on, you did this, you did that, do that. Get up, you it's no different than that. You feel me? Because
Mhm.
sometimes we forget what we done or the things or the accomplishments that we have got. But guess what? That woman don't, because she been
Right,
there.
right,
She'll tell you, boy, yo, you did this, you did that, do that. What's the difference between these two? And then you go be like, oh, then you realize it's really nothing. And then she don't put you on point. She done gave some confidence. She done told you what you already done. She done gave you all this stuff. Now you ready to get back the horse. You done picked the horse up and got back on the horse and say, let's go, let's ride. We're gonna ride it out.
But Pee Wee, I mean, yeah, hell yeah. And that, yeah, that's how, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I look at it. You feel me? You already know, but that's what I expect from her. You feel me, more than anything.
I get it.
That's what I expect. That awareness. You know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm always expecting. You know what I'm saying? That's what make us so great.
But you gotta express it to her though, Tom. How she know if you don't express it to her? How she know what to give you if she don't know what to give you?
What you mean? She know exactly what they give me because she give it to me all the time.
Right. But she don't know what direction to go in if you don't give her a direction. If you don't give her a clue of what you need at the time. Because then right,
Pee
we
Wee,
say what we
Pee Wee,
well,
I ain't got no problem with giving her the clue and giving her the understanding. You feel me? That's a difference between me giving her the understanding and what I'm expecting and what I'm looking for, then for me to come home and tell her about, you know what I'm saying? I just feel these ways because people at job, this joker talked to me this way, and I ain't like that, and I felt like doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel the need to involve her in all that. You feel where I'm coming from? But the regular stuff, yeah, of course, we gotta communicate that because I don't come home and unload my problems on her. Don't mean we don't talk. See, we talk all the time. You know what I'm
right.
saying? We talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? But you know me, I might call you and say, Pee Wee, man, this joker did this and he said that. Yo, and I felt like punching him in it. But I might not go and tell my wife that.
Right. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, everything don't gotta be survive or die moment. Some things can just be actual regular moment that is just more difficult than the last moment was. You feel me? Like in war, bro, you pick your battles, but you do the same thing in peace. You feel me? And yo, at this point in my life, yo, I'm all about having peace of mind, listen, that is paramount. I don't want to be arguing with nobody all day, every day in a power struggle over a peanut butter sandwich because yo, I've been in situations like that with people, and I know that's why I know what not I'm not looking for. I know exactly what I'm not looking for. You know what I'm saying? I got a friend of mine who today, right? He just came to me and was like, yo, do you know this girl think that everywhere I'm going, she's supposed to be able to go, and I'm not supposed to be able to tell her no? And if I tell her I gotta go somewhere by myself and she can't go, that she do this, that, and the third, and I gotta tell him, bro, you gotta get rid of her. You cannot do nothing with nobody insecure like that, because you can bet the moment she want to do something on her own, she gonna be expect to be able to do it. And yo, when somebody unreasonable that way, you really don't want to be in a relationship. I've been there before. That's the only reason why I can tell you. I know exactly what he dealing with. When you got somebody that you can't go nowhere unless they can go with you. Listen, that same person is checking your phone. That same person is just waiting for something to happen. The things that happen in her life, bro, you are not responsible for. You are not responsible for fixing that, nor are you qualified to fix that. Bro, I'm telling you, for your own good, for your sanity and everything, you got to get yourself out of that situation. I don't care how she look. I don't care how she look, because in the end, when this fall apart and it's a level 5 disaster, you gonna have to wear the burden of it.
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, that come from damaged people, though. See, this. If you never heard nothing, and this said it a lot of times, and I've realized this, right? Because I used to be one of the hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. People that have been damaged from past actions and haven't healed from them. That's why I did the first thing I ever did on this platform was healing is necessary. You got to heal from stuff like that, or you're going to continue to go through stuff like that. Period.
Right.
It's just what's going to happen until she or he, or whoever it may be, whoever you are, until you heal from your past traumas, bad relationships, uh, people that wasn't listening to you, people that didn't pay you no attention, the pretty ones that were half the time, she pretty, she cute, she fine, and all that, but a brother can't deal with her because his own insecurities. He don't believe he got her. He don't believe he got a woman as pretty or as attractive, or she don't believe she got a man that's as attractive, or whatever the case may be. Whatever that thing about it is in you that causes you to act out to act off of emotions and the feelings, or to move off of insecurities, you gotta fix that. And tell me that you ain't say nothing. Nobody is. You said that nobody is responsible to fix you. Nobody's gonna come along and love you until you get fixed. No, that's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. You understand what I'm saying? So, and for a man that don't have the ability to express itself, you're gonna have to learn how to or get in a relationship or find something with that woman that you can express yourself with, that you feel comfortable with talking about your feelings with. Or you're gonna have to go to a point where as though you cool with being who you are and being and having your feelings and your emotions towards whatever it is that you're having towards it. But they're yours, and you got them. Every human being got them. If you walking on this earth in 2 legs, you got feelings and you got emotions. How you express them, the way that you deal with them, is totally up to you. But it's a healthy way and it's a bad way. Which way do you choose? Because suppressing them, hold them in, and then you wonder why. Dang, why I feel like why I want to. Excuse my language. Why do I want to unalive this young man because he's so, or this person because they told me the truth? A lot of times, a lot of people, men and women, are sitting in prison, supposed to be thugs, supposed to be gangsters, but not saying all of them, but a lot of them. You did that out your emotions and your feelings. When you think about it, you did that because you was emotional and feeling. You felt disrespect, feeling, emotion. I felt disrespected, so this is why I did this. This is why I murdered her, or she hurt my feelings. You never, nobody never taught you, or because it's not like we have lessons in our hoods or in our schools learning how to deal with your emotions, learning how to deal with hurt, learning how to deal with disappointment. We just dealt with that the best way that we knew how. Nobody never does that. This stuff never taught to us. And then somebody hurt your feelings, or he hurt your feelings. Cause I remember I used to say this, and it made a lot of sense. If you hurt me emotionally, I'm gonna hurt you physically. That don't add up.
Hmm.
That do not add up. But I had to come to the realization that don't add up. Because me hurting you physically, your physical wound gonna heal. My emotional wound might never heal. But this is what I believe to be true. Um, a lot of times, uh, uh, prime of passion, uh, she don't want you no more. Acceptance, feelings, emotions. You can't if you don't get to these. If you don't get to learn how to deal with them things will deal with you. Believe me when I tell you, if you don't learn how to deal with them things will deal with you. They feelings and emotions. You can't be on this earth without having them. I don't believe care what you say. So that's my outlook on that. Anybody else got anything else to say? Shank?
Yeah, let me slide in. How do you deal with a man that's more sensitive than you? Everyone made excellent points. The biggest part of the picture that y'all all painted was we all are wired differently. So I can't expect Tommy to move like I move. I can't expect Pee Wee to move like I move. But I will say, depending on that female is going to determine how that man moves. I'll say it again. Depending on that female is going to determine how that man moves. If I got a female that I can't come home to and I can't relax and I can't tell her my problems, if I got a female that I got to walk around with my chest on swole, if I got a female that I can come home and say, baby, I had a bad day. Because some females, that's how they're wired. Some females are wired that way. Some of y'all might call it old-fashioned. Some men are old-fashioned. Now, if you got a man and woman that's wired that way, oh, you got an excellent relationship. Because they both understand the peace. I think Tommy spoke on that peace. It's all about that peace. Or somebody spoke on peace. You know, I know what I don't want in my relationship because I know me. Now, you want my sensitive side. I want my sensitive side because my sensitive side keeps me in check. The ignorant, retarded fool that walks around with his chest on swole, you don't want that from Shank. And Shank don't want that because I act stupid and I make dumb decisions. So for me, it just depends on that woman. And I've had some women that I couldn't tell them I had a bad day. I had some women that I had to have my chest on swole. But as Tommy said, those were the women that I knew eventually I got to get away from her. It just depends on the individual. It really depends on the individual. Mel, I haven't heard you in a while. Slide in, Mel. While we wait for Mel to come back, I'll finish. A couple quick announcements. We want to, because we were able to get the podcast to 55 subscribers, and that unlocked for us to get a community wall as well as for us to be able to go live. So we want to turn those 55 subscribers into 55 more subscribers and reach 110. Share the demonstrations. Talk about it. Help us build the platform. We want this platform to be the same as all the other platforms. We want this to be a platform where men, women, and children of all races can come and voice their opinions. It's all opinions, and everybody got one. And everybody's opinion should be respected. It's nowhere in the world that Pee Wee's opinion shouldn't be respected. It's nowhere in the world that Miss Groovy's, Tommy, or Mel opinion shouldn't be respected. We got to learn to agree to disagree. If we can learn that, we all will be in a better place in our lives. Everybody don't agree with Shank Rock. Everybody don't agree with Tommy, Pee Wee, Miss Groovy, and Mel, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what makes us unique. I don't want you to agree with everything I say. And I'm sure y'all feel the same way. Because sometimes I might be wrong. I got to keep it 100. Sometimes I might be wrong. But I want us to just keep pounding the concrete. I think these men and women conversations are very well needed. Ladies, it's not always going to be one-sided. Fellas, it's not going to always be one-sided. Ladies, You have to take accountability. Fellas, we have to take accountability. That's the ultimate goal for us all, to take accountability. That's where it starts. That's where it stops. If you can't take accountability in your actions, then this is not a platform that you need to be pulling up on. If anybody feel disrespected by anybody, please reach out to me, reach out to Tommy, reach out to Pee Wee, reach out to Mel, reach out to Group, reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody so we could fix any problems that may occur. Problems gonna happen, y'all. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for years. You're gonna bump heads with other subscribers. You're gonna bump heads with moderators. You're going to bump heads. It's going to happen. But we got to be grown enough. We got to be mature enough to, when we bump heads, to say, okay, let me slide back for a minute. First, let me see if I could have handled the situation better. Because sometimes, even though a person do you wrong, sometimes it's how you handle the situation that's going to determine the outcome. We've been there. We've done that. We all are tired. We want something different. We want something better. We ain't got to be scratching. We ain't got to be calling each other out our names. We ain't got to be like, I hate her. I hate him. I can't stand him. I can't stand her. We ain't got to be like that. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it peaceful. Once again, everybody's opinion is welcome. Everybody has a right to voice their opinion. I'm going to say it again. Everybody has a right to voice their opinions. But in the event somebody offends you, reach out to me. Reach out to somebody else, or step back. Step back. You might have to reach out to that person. You might have to go on Instagram and get at them, Facebook and get at them. Well, however, say, hey, I don't appreciate how you handle me in the chat. I don't appreciate how you handle me on a panel. Can we talk? Come on, Mel. Slide in, Mel. I'll wait for Mel to come back. I'm going to give y'all an opportunity to slide back. Pee Wee, Tommy, Miss Groove. I'm going to give y'all an opportunity. I just want to make a few quick announcements. You know, let's just keep doing what we do. You know, for most of us, this is counseling. For most of us, this is therapeutic. True. Do y'all realize how many people just needed somebody to talk to? Some people needed a platform. It's like Pee Wee said, not all of them in the joint, not everybody that's in prison, but most of them that's in prison acted out of emotions. They were caught up in their feelings. But maybe if they had somebody to talk to, maybe if they had a platform to pull up on and say, hey, Mel, I need to talk to you. And Mel responds, and they say, Mel, I'm stressed today. And Mel say, well, hey, it's an open platform. Get it off your chest. And if they're able to get it off their chest, that could save somebody their life. That could save somebody their freedom. It's all good in the hood. We don't always got to be walking around with our chests on swole. We don't got to be walking around savage. Contrary to what we think and what people want us to believe, we are not savages by nature. You're not born to be a savage. You're not. Y'all can slide back in. How do you deal with a man that's more sensitive than you. Before I let y'all slide back in, now, sensitive can be taken in different directions. Once again, it's all opinion. What I consider to be sensitive, Tommy and Pee-wee might not consider to be sensitive. You know, I consider to be sensitive, more sensitive than a woman, because a woman, one thing about a woman, she nags. Hold up, Miss Groovy, before you start throwing the hot dogs. But it's the way that a woman nags compared to the way a woman explains a situation to you. So it's the same as a man. And this is what I was saying about it just depends on that man and that woman. If you got a woman that's always nagging, it's the same as a man being too sensitive. I ain't being too sensitive. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm not. Because I understand that part of the game, whereas though, let's be honest, fellas, you don't want your woman to look at you as weak. You don't want your woman to look at you as, goddamn, I thought I was the woman. So where Tommy is coming from, I know exactly where you're coming from, Tommy. I've been like that. I still get like that. But then when you flip the pancake, it just goes into what you were saying, Pee-wee, because you got that woman that's right there with you. Somebody slide in.
Yo, I just want to slide in and saying because because why do it? I'm just talking about the choice of words and the way it's viewed. Why do it have to be viewed as weak, sensitive, or soft though? Because I am a man that's able to express my feelings. Because I'm able to express my feelings to any person after a substantial amount of time. Like if I gotta deal with it or I gotta address it and it needs to be addressed, sometimes it's not. I know timing is everything, even in relationships, and if you've been in relationships, you'll learn like, all right, so it's a time to talk about this, it's a time to talk about everything. It's a time and a place for everything, right? But I'm just saying why, because I am aware of my emotions or my emotional situation or status. Those have got to be viewed as sensitive, soft, weak, or Why do gotta be viewed like that?
Let me slide in, Pee-wee, because depending on that woman, depending on that man, depending on that child, depending on that immature person. See, me and you, we already know what it is. I know you ain't weak. I know you ain't soft.
Right.
I know that you've crossed that crossroad, whereas though you actually matured. Now, you can't walk around with your chest on swole. Same thing I'm saying, but that's where we get messed up at. That's a part of that whole peer pressure, like you said. And like you said, now if I go to Tommy, if I go to Shank, now the old Shank would be like, nigga, man, go handle your business. And the new Shank gonna be, because I'm at that crossroad with you. So I know where you at. I'm there. But it's going to depend on that woman that I got. Because now I'm going to come to Tommy, and then y'all help me out. I'm going to come to Tommy because I know exactly where Tommy at, because you don't got room to slip. You don't. And it just, what I'm saying, it all depends on who that woman you got. Because by a woman's nature, it's her nature to test you. Whether she does it directly or whether she does it indirectly. She might not even know that she's testing your strength. Because her nature, that's just her nature. We wonder why they go after the thugs. Remember why we would wonder why they went after the thugs It's the nature of a woman to go after a thug. Why? Thug gonna keep her in line. Thug gonna check that ass. We wonder why pimping get more women than the good guy. Why? Because the good guy gonna let her run over top of him. But pimping gonna do what? Pimping gonna check her. Pimping gonna put her in her place. It's her nature. So it depends on that woman. For me, let me narrow it down. And you and Tommy can build off of that. For me, it depends on that woman. Once again, if Shank got to walk around with his chest on swole, I don't want you, baby. I could love you. I could screw you. I could flip you upside down. We can get money together. We could do a lot of other things together. But there's no connection with me and you because I don't walk around with my chest on swole. I know where that's going to get me at. So I got to be able to have that sensitive side. She might not think it's a sensitive side because I've had females that tell me, I wish you was more sensitive. And I'll be like, because it just depends on that woman. And I'll be looking at her and I'll be like, huh? I am sensitive. And then she give me all the recommendations in her vocabulary that comes along with being sensitive. But I'm telling her, we talk. I'm telling her, I make love to you. I don't fuck your brains out. I make love to you. I'm telling her, I open up the door for you. I hold doors for you. I ask you, is you okay? For me, that's sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Pee-wee.
I get it.
You know what I mean? I talk to you. I express my feelings to you. Now, I can't go but so deep with her, Pee-wee. Unless I could lay my head on her shoulder. I could lay my head in her lap. Do you realize, Pee-wee, that you can't do that with all females? See, that's why I said with you and your woman, you got the perfect connection. I listen. When y'all came to see me, I seen the connection. I said, Pee-wee got a winner. Nobody else might not think she's a winner. But the Pee-wee that I know, that's a winner right there. I'm going to come to you, Tommy, and then I'm going to let y'all come in. Tommy had a winner. I've never heard Tommy talk about a woman like he talks about his wife. That was a winner for Tommy.
Yes, especially him. Yeah, especially Mr.
You get what I'm coming from? You get what I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Nigga, stop smiling. Nigga, Tommy, stop smiling. But he know that was a winner. That's why he speaks. I think Mel pointed that out. Mel said, somebody pointed that out to Tommy. I think it was Mel. That they can tell that was everything to him. Because we know Tommy.
Right.
So it comes back to what I was saying, and then I'm going to let you take over, Pee-wee. To me, in my opinion, that man showing a sensitive side of him is going to determine that woman. That man having to walk around with his chest on swole is going to determine what woman he got. Come on, Pee-wee.
Yeah, we definitely have met some had our few of our failures and our tries, right? But like I said, like I couldn't be no happier than I am today. But the determination, it's because I was able to. Sometimes it's just about being able to lay down your sensitive side and expose the manly side of you too. Because I'm definitely between both of them. She definitely know when I get in my spaces, I'm in my space, and that's me being a man, just being in my space or trying to figure some things out until I can't figure it out. And I have learned that 2 heads is always better than one. 2 brains is always can fix something faster than 1 brain. You understand? So I definitely figured that out, but it's also like I need to. It's called a comfortable. Each person needs to be comfortable in an emotional space where they're free to be them in that space and in that relationship and in that time. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't have that emotional freedom, like I said, I don't have to be physically incarcerated to be emotionally and mentally behind bars or locked behind a perception or outlook or a way of living. You know, I don't have to be I don't have to be incarcerated to be locked behind those things. And a lot of people, and I can get the differences between people. I can accept that. If it don't apply, let it fly. I can accept that. I can accept all those things, right? But I also know that it's a right and a wrong way. And whatever right might be right for you, might be right for you. Whatever wrong, it might be wrong for me. It might not fit into my relationship. But and everybody is not politically correct. But a lot of things when it comes to psychology, and mental and emotional behaviors and stuff, all this stuff be on point. Suppressing feelings, them feelings are going to come out some kind of way through aggression, through hurt, through pain, somehow, or even just being shut off from the world, or not being emotionally connected to nobody. Somehow these conditions are going to affect you in your relationships, not just your relationship with the instant. Because we always talking about relationships with partners and stuff like that. But we got relationships all around the board. We got friendships, which is relationships. We got parentships, which is relationships. We got spouseships, which is relationships. We got co-workerships. But all these is different kinds. They just different names for relationships. So how do you conduct yourself? How can you give some? How can you be say you well-rounded, if per se, or that you're emotionally available, or that you're emotionally quick to give somebody else some advice, or not even advice, or just tell them how you deal with it and think that it's correct. I'm not gonna say because Miss Parker did something, Shank beat her so she can understand. No. No, I mean I'm emotional. So that mean I believe in violence. And so I'm inflicting my violence all the way over there to him, all the way down in North Carolina. I'm in Detroit. I mean in Delaware. And he the bottom inflicted my violence into somebody else's relationship. No, that's misinformation. And a lot of times, because of the sensitivity, women saying men sensitive, or men saying women this and that. That's called misinformation. A lot of people was misinformed, but they live like this. They live by this. They die by this misinformed information. And this is what they come to believe. This misinformed information. And then you've been walking around 30, 40 years with this misinformed information, and you really think it to be true, or it worked a couple of times, or once or twice in your life, and now you misinforming other people. So I done pass this misinformed information on to somebody else. No, man, that's not how it works. It's everything. It has a right and a wrong. Whatever we can't say what's right or wrong for an individual or individuals, but you know what's right and you know what's wrong. You know what I mean? Like all that uh slap your girl craziness they used to tell me. Slap your girl if she love you when she get on your nerves. Sometimes you gotta slap her and let her know you love her. How do abuse become love? When did abuse become love? I don't know. Love, when did love start to hurt? I don't know. You know what I mean? But that's just how I feel about, you know what I'm saying, like I'm cool with the differences, but don't try to inflict your differences on somebody else. You know what I mean? And respect whoever else is different. Oh, well, that's it. And I can say, well, that's different. You know what I mean? And look at it as exactly different. It's different from what I'm going to accept or what I'm going to do. And what are you willing to accept? You understand what I'm saying? If she got 8 good things and 2 bad things, can you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna live with the 8 bad things and the 2 good things? Or she got a nice button and she got a cute smile, but she treats you like trash. Come on, man. Or he got a nice car and his bank account good, but he don't know how to communicate a relationship. He got a good job and he got a nice car, but in a relationship he don't know how to communicate. He don't know how to treat you. He don't buy you gifts. You know what I mean? Like, cause sometimes I just buy my girl flowers just because. I just see some roses. I think of my girl. I buy them for her. You understand? The stuff of that sort. That's the stuff that I've learned to get in touch with my sensitive side. Doesn't make me weak, because I'm gonna just say, try me if you would like to, and think this is gonna be a walk in the park. But because I'm sensitive, or that's the same way as I might help one person, one might not help another one. You understand what I'm saying? That's because that's the way I felt or how I was feeling in the moment, in that time. So at the end, when it's all said and done, it's how you deal with it. But remember, keep in mind, is treat people the way you want to be treated. Help those who helped you. You know what I'm saying? Assist those. And a lot of times, let me say this to you. A lot of times, people don't want help from other people. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want. Ain't nothing wrong with no help, man. Especially to help me get over, to push me. If I'm stuck on a bump and I need somebody to help me push my car over that bump, then I need somebody to help me push my car. I'm gonna ask for some help. There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people don't know how to ask for help. Some people just afraid to say I don't know or I never have. Words that people be afraid of because they don't want, everybody want to pretend to act like they know everything. I'm telling you this, Pee Wee don't know everything. Pee Wee know a lot, but he don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? And when I don't know, I know how to say I don't know. When I need help, I know how to ask to say I need some help. So, Tom, what's up?
Let me let Mel slide in.
Hey,
Oh,
Mel.
go ahead, Pee Wee.
Go ahead, Mel. Mel.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good, Mel.
Perfectly
Because I had a
clear,
whole
Mel.
conversation earlier, but I don't even think I was in StreamYard. But I really forgot everything that I said. But I when we were still talking about vulnerability and sensitivity, and the difference when I say you ask hard questions and you open up about yourselves in the courtship part of a relationship. And I was just trying to think of an example that most of us probably know. I'm going to go to Zach and Fatima.
Mm.
Now, there's Zach who spent 3 years with Karen.
Mm-hmm.
So Karen is all tied up in all of these 3 years worth of emotions and the time he went to jail and all of this. But the one thing that he was never with Karen, he is with Fatima.
Right.
And that is sensitive and
Yes.
vulnerable.
Yes.
She has seen him cry.
Yes.
He has opened up to her about his pain. His
Yes.
pain from childhood, everything that he's going through as a man that stemmed from his childhood.
Mel,
He
Mel, just let me slide in. Stay right there. Because
okay.
what I was saying, it go back to that woman. Fatima is that type of woman that he can open up to. Karen, he couldn't open up to Karen. Come on, Mel.
Right. So and again, it's about in the first part of their courtship, he opened up to her right away because she allowed him to do that. She allowed him to be, as what Karen would say, broke down, a bum. He can't get himself together. She uplifted him in a way to make him feel that he could do all things that he wanted to do. So she gave him that space to be to grow into who he was supposed to be. And so that's the difference when we say talking about vulnerability of a man and sensitivity of a man. He's all those with her. He cries. He struggles. She watch him cry 1 minute and fighting somebody the next. She sees all of those. He's shown her everything. And that is the difference to it. And I think only a few of those girls really understand the dynamic of Zach and Fatima's relationship, especially Dana. She understands because she was the friend that had to hear him be vulnerable and see him go through those struggles. But at the end of the day, he spent 3 years with Karen. She didn't know him. She saw him for what she wanted him to be.
Dependent
I
on
want
her.
him to have his own business. I want him to do this. This is what I want him to do. she wanted him to be who she wanted him to be instead of who he was. And she didn't know that he had the vulnerabilities that he have. And so I just want to attribute that to the conversation that we're having. And when we talk about in the first part of that courtship, you got to ask those hard questions, and you have to be able to be open so that you can share you with that person. And it's that person that will make the decision whether or not they can help you carry that burden. Or, I mean, and the thing about her is that she allows that vulnerability, but she also takes a stance as well, because it's a learning experience for both of them, really. So I think that's more of what the one guy in the video was saying. When I come home, I got to be able to lay this on somebody that will understand. That's not gonna judge me. She don't call them weak. She never called them any of that. She don't walk around and say, "Oh my God, y'all know Jack is always crying," or he did. She never says that, but she allows him to be that way, and I think it's beautiful.
And on that show, Mel, on Sisters, Fatima and what's her name, Mel? The one that Fatima, and what's the one that work at the airline?
Danny.
Yeah.
Fatima and Danny, those are the realest ones out of them.
Yep.
Out of that whole group. Because they understands. And I'm gonna let y'all come back in, Miss Groovy and Tommy. They understand, and that's why I always say, and I know it from my personal situations. I know I've had females on both sides. I've had females that I could come and talk to. I might have a bad day. I had females that I couldn't say nothing to because they looked at it as me being weak. Mm-hmm. And I understood it. I understood it because those were females that were game oriented. Mm-hmm. Those were females that was in the game. Mm-hmm. And I was in the game. So when you in the game, different rules apply than when you live in a square lifestyle.
Right.
You get a female that's in the game, you can't slip. You can't show no vulnerability. You can't show that sensitive side because that's not how she's wired. But now you get a female that's on the square side of the tracks, you can be sensitive. You can let her know your problems and what you're going through, but not no female that's in the game. She's not going to respect you. She's not going to respect it. Come on in, Miss Groovy. Let me get Miss Groovy in.
I'm gonna let Miss Ruby go. I just want to say one more thing, and I digress.
Okay.
Because you have to realize Zach poured all this on Danny. That's why Danny's able to check Karen. Mm-hmm. Because he poured all of this. She saw him too. Mm-hmm. She saw his vulnerability. She saw him broken as a man, and he allowed her to see that. Mm-hmm. And Fatima, now she came from the game, but she saw Zach broken, and she allowed him to be broken while she lifted him, while she's lifting him up at the same time.
Fatima's a head buster.
Yeah,
a head buster. Go ahead,
Fatima don't play.
Go ahead.
They don't play about her man.
But I like the vulnerable side of her where she's allowing him to be broken, but she's not tearing him down at the same time he's broken. And that's what Karen did.
Right. And not only that, she was like Karen was always like downing him and telling him, don't put your mommy issues off on me and stuff like that. And it wasn't that he was putting his mommy issues off on her. He was just trying to share what he had been through with his mom. Whereas with Fatima's like, okay, you're going to go see your mom. I'm going to support you going to see your mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And knowing that was a sore spot for him, she was just like, okay, whatever you want to do, babe, I got you. And Karen never saw none of that because she, like Mel said, she wanted him to be what she wanted him to be.
Yep.
even though she accepted him in his mediocrity, but but she couldn't see past that. It was like he cheated, he went to jail, he did this, he did. But what part did you play in that?
There you go. That accountability part. Like I said, sometimes, even though a person might wrong you, or even though it might seem, sometimes you got to look back and say, well, wait a minute. Let me take some accountability in it. What part did I play in this? Because this is how I feel. And somebody asked me a question, I can't remember who it was, but they said, if your girl cheated on you, would you leave her or would you stay? And I said, I would stay. I said, because if my girl cheats on me, I'm slipping on my pimping. That's how I'm wired. I can't say how the next man is wired. That's how I'm wired, because it's the accountability part. Because the first thing somebody's going to say is, but damn, Shane, did you find out why she cheated on you? Because there's always a reason. And I know some people, when it's flipped around, some people will say it ain't no reason for a man to cheat on a woman. It's a reason. Same way it's a reason if a woman cheat on a man. Now, if your man cheats on you, you were slipping on your pimping. You got to realize, why did my man cheat on me? What was it that this woman gave my man that I couldn't give my man? And ladies, most of the times, 9 times out of 10, the reason why a man cheat, he get a peace of mind with her that he don't get with you.
Shank,
So-
I want to pick it back off of that
Come on.
and going back to what what I said earlier and Tommy's response to that. But that's what I meant about a man not being able to come home and emotionally unpack something. It builds up to tension, and different things can happen: abuse, alcoholism, infidelity, and that's why Zach, all the times he was with Karen, he was always in and out of jail or cheating because he could not release what he was going through with Karen. He couldn't unload that. He couldn't be vulnerable with her. He had to be a certain type of way. So that led to what? Infidelity.
Exactly.
He was in and out of jail. He could just never get himself together. He was just always, because of all of that stuff he was carrying, but he had nowhere to put it down at.
Exactly.
And now, if you look at it now, that Karen see the shift in Zach,
Yes.
along
Yes.
with the money,
Yes.
now she's so in love with Zach.
Yes. Yes.
But Danny is calling her bullshit.
Yeah,
Yes,
Danny is
yes,
calling her
yes.
all the way out. And the crazy thing is, Zach had gave her money. I think he gave her like $70,000 when he first got the money.
Yep.
He gave her the money for the years that they were together, and he couldn't pay no bills or whatever. He
Yep.
gave her that,
Yep.
and she still was dogging him out.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And then now that she see all the stuff that he's doing for Fatima, he got the house, he got the cars, he's in a faithful relationship, stable, faithful relationship.
Yep.
Now
It don't
she
sound to
wants
me now. I don't
all
know
of
who
that for
y'all
herself.
talking about, but it don't
You don't
sound to
watch
me.
Sisters?
Now, Tommy don't watch Sisters.
Oh, well,
And
it's a couple that's on the show, and he used to mess with one of the sisters, but he ended up messing with Andy's assistant, which is one of the sister's friends.
I
And
mean,
when he was with one
I
of
get
them,
the gist of what y'all talking about. I just don't know the characters and the people. But let me say this, and maybe listen, everybody ain't for everybody. That's
Mhm,
point blank. We know that's life, right? That
mhm,
you might not can't make it with your ex girl. That's why she your ex girl. But you can
right,
make it with your next girl. That's why she the next girl. You might can't make it with your ex man. but you might can make it with your next man, because that's why he your ex-man. Because we all gotta see what, when we get together and we figure out, okay, look, this person not gonna work for my life. Okay, I need something else. All right, because the only way y'all gonna find that out is for y'all to get together and see if it can work. Okay, that's why I say in love you take your chances. You know what I'm saying? Like in relationship, we all taking our chances. And a lot of times, what I'm saying is, you might be a certain kind of person, and you need somebody to fit the kind of person that you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
She might be good peoples, he might be good peoples, and they get together and just bad.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because a lot of times, man, the qualities that we think we looking for end up being the qualities we don't want. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the qualities we think we don't want be the qualities that we needed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
it don't always fit so neatly into right and wrong. Sometimes it just fit more into the space of the choices that we make, right? So I might choose somebody for the reasons that I'm choosing them for, right? Because we all do. We all choose the person for the reason that we are choosing them for. Okay. And then later on down the line, we understand that, okay, that didn't work out. Damn, because I was looking for this, and this, and he provided this, and this, and I still couldn't stand that person. I still just couldn't get along with that person. You feel where I'm coming from? And then you might bump into somebody who just special in other ways, and not the ways you vision somebody to be special in. But it's working like you don't know what, and you never even considered this. You understand? Like that dude that just in love with a big butt, and now his woman ain't got suffering from no ass at all. You know what I'm saying? He, like, yo, the way this dude on some butts, and how the hell he in? Yeah, because he ain't on it like he thought he was. You know what I'm saying? Like that lady running around looking for 15 inches, but she got it, just can't get away from that dude with 2.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't know. We don't know. But until we get out here, right, and experience people and see like what fit me, what fit Tommy, what fit Miss Groovy, what fit Mel, what fit Shank, what fit Pee Wee. And trust me, what's going to fit Pee Wee and what's going to fit Shank and what's going to fit Mel and what's going to fit Miss Groovy, probably not what's going to fit Tommy.
Right.
But guess what? That don't mean Miss Groovy not gonna find a fruitful relationship. That don't mean Mel not gonna have a fruitful relationship. That don't mean Pee Wee not gonna have a fruitful relationship. Because what we all looking for are not the same things that each other are looking for. You know what I'm saying? I think that's when the disconnect come in. Like, some of these ladies, I know they in the echo chamber, because there's no way all of y'all looking for this same thing. And that's how everybody start getting disappointed. Everybody start getting disappointed because they measuring success through what other people got and through what other people want. You know what I'm saying? And I think it work out better for you when you just cool with what you want. And the things that you think are necessary that enhance your life and make your life more fulfilling. Not what it would take to make Miss Power high maintenance go. That that's not that's not who you are. And I don't think and the problems start when you try to turn your life into hers. You know what I'm saying? She on Instagram. She jet set. You looking at your man who, you know what I'm saying? He work at the post office. Why are you demanding that he buy you a Ferrari? Because somebody on Instagram got a Ferrari and now he not good enough for you. You listen, we all gotta walk in our own truths. We all gotta understand our own lifestyle and what it take to sustain us comfortably and realistically. You know what I'm saying? Now to Tommy, listen, yo, I'm just not that much of an expressive person when it come to my feelings and all of that. You know what I'm saying? My father always told me to man up. You know what I'm saying? What you feel like doing and what need to be done is two different things. You know what I'm saying? Look, check your feelings, all right? That's why you like that. You stop, listen, man, them emotions ain't gonna work for you, boy. Tighten up. You know, that's how my father always talked to me. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, I know it got me further. I know it got me further than whining and always complaining and always like, you know what I'm saying, feeling like I need to be the victim. You know, I just don't like that. Do I think a man coming to his woman and having a conversation? I don't see that as weak. I mean, I see that as needed. You know what I'm saying? But man, do I think you need to be dropping every goddamn thing in your world off on her? No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? But that don't make me right just because that's how I look at it. I'm just telling you that's not about to be what I'm going to be doing. You know what I mean? You know, like I'm out in the public in the, you know what I'm saying? You think I'm about to go home and tell my wife, look, hey, baby, I just had to beat a nigga up, or I just got in a fight and nigga beat me up. You know? No, I'm not about to tell her that. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not who I am. I'm not about to tell her that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna roll with the punches. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to unpack that on her. But if it's a reasonable situation, and look, I feel like, yo, I need to speak to my wife about this. No problem. I'm gonna speak to my wife about it. I'm not scared of her. But some shit, man, I ain't about to fuck up her day with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, listen, because yo, I know life gonna show up every day, right? And I gotta be prepared for it. All right, all right. That's my baby. No, ain't no way. Listen, I'm gonna protect her from anything I can protect her from. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna protect my children from anything I can protect them from. And the things that I can't, I'm a level with them. Because that's who I am. That's who I am. It don't make me better than nobody. It don't make me no worse than nobody. It just make me me. And the only person I can be is me. I can't be nobody else. I tried that before. That shit ain't worked for me.
And that's the most valuable lesson that we all got to take. You couldn't have said it no better. Tommy can't be Shank. Tommy can't be Pee Wee. Tommy gotta be Tommy. Miss Groovy can't be Mel. Mel can't be Miss Groovy. Come on, Tommy.
Yeah, you know, we all move in our own spaces. We all are different, and that's what make us unique. You know, when Miss Groovy pull up, I don't want her trying to be Mel. I want her to be Miss Groovy. That's who I know her for being. I want Mel to be Mel. That's who I know her for being. You know, don't pull up here somebody else. Now I'm wondering who gonna show up. And I'm a man, and I need to be certain of something. All right, I've been talking to Mel long enough. I know how Mel move. I don't need Miss Mel getting up here moving like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because Mel got her point of view. Her point of view, 9 out of 10 gonna be valid. You know what I'm saying? But valid in the eyes of Mel. You know what I'm saying? And it may or may not be valid in the eyes of Tommy. But I know Mel is real. This was really on her heart. She not up here just quoting some stuff she heard somebody else saying. You know, because that's not who Mel is. All right, I'm gonna digress for a minute. Let somebody else say the floor.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, Miss Groovy up there.
yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Miss Groovy.
Hey.
What you gotta say about the time? How you feel about that, Miss Groovy?
Like I said, I just feel that when you have a partner or a wife, I feel as though that person should be your safe space. And when that person is your safe space, you should be able to be vulnerable or sensitive with that person. Now, like Tommy and Mel said, yes, everybody's relationship may not have the same dynamic, but at the end of the day, if that's the person that you're sleeping with, you should be able to have conversations with them no matter what. And I get where Tommy's coming from when he said he's not going to just dump stupid stuff on his wife's lap. I get that. I understand that. I'm just saying, at what time, like, okay, he said he's not going to go home and tell his wife he had a fight. I don't think my husband would do that either. But when it's time for us to have like those conversations, we can sit down and chop it up.
We'll tell y'all that we beat the nigga up, but we
Of
ain't gonna
course,
tell
of
y'all that
course,
the
but
nigga
of
beat our
course,
ass. Go ahead.
we wouldn't have it no other way.
Go ahead.
We would not have it any other way. But I'm just saying, like, if if that person is your person and it works for you, by all means do what works for you in your relationship. Because can't nobody tell you once y'all go behind those closed doors, can't nobody tell you how to interact with your spouse or partner. And I feel like when it comes to marriages, keep people out your business anyway. Because you and your spouse gonna hug it out, chop it up, talk about it, whatever. And the person that you told on the outside still gonna be mad. So when it comes to that, I feel like it depends on the person. However it works for you, work it. Like you said, what works for Tommy ain't gonna work for Pee Wee. What works for Pee Wee ain't gonna work for Shane because we're all individuals and we all have a say so. And it's but two things I will say: your healing and your happiness are your responsibility. Anything outside of that, you really can't care what other people say because they're not in your situation. So if you feel like a man is too sensitive or whatever the case may be, that's something in you that makes you feel like they too sensitive. Because I want my partner to come to me. My lap is his sanctuary. My chest is his sanctuary. If I'm laying on the bed and he want to lay his head on my butt, it's his sanctuary. Why? Because I'm his safe space.
Any last words before we get out of here, Miss Groovy?
Healing and happiness is your responsibility. Your
Appreciate you, Miss
own
Groovy.
personal relationships. All right. It was a good conversations, guys. I love it.
Thank you.
We'll be back tomorrow. Any last words, Tommy?
I want to thank everybody for coming out as usual. I appreciate y'all. Love sharing my day with y'all. Hope everybody have a wonderful and prosperous evening. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Love y'all.
I love you too, Tommy.
Love you
Any
too, bro.
last words, Pee Wee?
No, I'm just my last words is listen, whatever fits you, that's the shoe you gotta wear. At the end of the day, whatever makes you happy, but at the same time, it's the right and the wrong way to do everything. The way we see things is the way we see them. The way my vision might not fit your vision, but as long as the vision is healthy for you and is productive for you, then that's all should matter. And, but please keep in mind that it's the right and the wrong way to do everything. So that's all I got for right now, Shank. Everybody have a peaceful and lovely night.
All right, love you, Pee Wee.
Love you too.
All right, see you tomorrow.
All right, bro.
Take us home, Mel.
Can you hear me, Hank?
Yes, you sound good.
Okay, because it one time told me that my browser lost connection. I all I can say is that we can always look at the physical attributes that we want in a person, and that's good. But we also have to make sure that we ask hard questions to figure out, to get to know that person from within. Because unfortunately, we all, especially in our adulthood, have gone through something, been through something, and unless we can unpack that and give the other person the chance to ask themselves hard questions, is this something that I want to deal with? Can I deal with this? Then we continue to complete those cycles. And everything without a relationship, as we know, goes past physical attributes, monetary attributes, because you can have all of those things but still be emotionally alone. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's all I have to say. And good night.
Appreciate you, Mel.
All right.
I'm trying to end something off. That's my bad, y'all. I want to welcome everybody for pulling up to this demonstration. This was an excellent demonstration. This was the Still Swinging Podcast first live demonstration. I made everyone that attended this demonstration, I went on and made you all moderators. If you don't want to be a moderator, you could just simply say, hey, Shank, you could take the wrench back. But I wanted to make you all moderators to show y'all our appreciation, because I do feel like, y'all have been supportive. Y'all were the first ones to pull up over here. So that's why I went on and gave y'all the wrenches. If you have a social media platform, please share the demonstration to your social media platforms. Once again, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I appreciate my co-hosts, Pee Wee and Tommy. And I appreciate Mel and Miss Groovy for coming up on the panel with us. Once again, this platform is for everyone. If you want to come up on this panel, and if you want to express your opinion and give your perspective, fine. Whatever you say, whatever you believe is your belief. I promise I won't let nobody take that from nobody. And I'm sure my co-hosts Pee Wee and Tommy won't let nobody take that from y'all as well. We have to agree to disagree. We have to learn to respect other people's opinions. We all are wired differently. That don't mean that I'm right. That don't mean that you're wrong. That don't mean that I'm wrong, and that don't mean that you're right. We're just stating our opinions. Once again, I appreciate everybody for pulling up, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. I'm not sure what time tomorrow, but I do know tomorrow I will be doing demonstrations on the main channel, as well as the backup channel, as well as this channel. Once again, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Salute, everyone.
Out. Y'all make some noise for my man Emmanuel E-Man Hudson, aka the referee, man. E-Man, you got that? That's Daryl and George. Who? Daryl and George.
Durham.
Like it's Daryl, but he say Daryl.
Okay, so Duracell battery. Okay, got it.
And George, aka G Money,
G-Money.
and he from Baltimore.
Scootin' Putin Steve.
Got it. He's from Virginia.
Virginia.
The battle of the DMV. What you got for him?
So you guys do know what you're doing up here, right? Okay, you're roasting each other, okay? We're gonna keep it clean, we're gonna keep it fun. This is a family show. I got a couple of rules, all right? 2 shakies and you're out of here. All the white people that are in here, 2 shaky means 2 bad jokes. You know, so we're gonna make sure y'all are filled in on what's going on. I know it's a lot of 2 bad jokes. You know, so we're gonna make sure y'all are filled in on what's going on. I know it's a lot of niggas in here. So we're gonna make sure y'all understand what's going on. White people, 2 shakies mean 2 bad jokes. Okay? Stay in your lane. You stay there. I need you there. Okay? One of the most important rules is respect the ref. Say it with me. Respect the ref. That's me. That is me. Okay? Stay in your lane.
What's your name, King? Daryl. All right, Daryl, you stand right there. Daryl and all yellow. What's your name, King? G-Money from Virginia. Daryl, where you from? Baltimore. Oh, shit. You got the pistol battle on the DMV. Yeah, you dress like a Baltimore nigga. You got big birds Nikes on. Daryl and G-Money. Nigga, your mama ain't named me G-Money. What's George? Yeah. Daryl and George, nigga. Y'all look like some old niggas. It's Daryl and George. Like co-workers. Back at the factory. Alright, so we gonna do it like this, Daryl and George. We play a show where we roast each other, we joan each other, we cap. Wherever you from, we always got different names for it, but you know what it is. We on Wildin' Out have named this game Got Damned. Yeah, we don't use the Lord's name in vain. It's called Got Damn. Say it with me. Got Damn. So every time, you know, one of y'all get roasted, that's what we do. But this is not my game. This is a professional's game. A man who